Alright guys, today we're going to be trying out Dolly Parton's Country Fried Steak. This is a microwavable meal. I got this at Walmart. Hopefully it's good. These are on the pricier side. I think they were almost like $5 or $6 a piece, so kind of expensive. So hopefully it is good. Alright guys, so today we have Dolly Parton's Country Fried Steak. I do have one more of these Dolly Parton microwavable meals. So I'm going to try two of them, but today we're going to stick with this one. Alright, so we have a country fried steak, fried beef patty, and mashed potatoes with country style gravy and a side of seasoned green beans and smoky bacon. Sounds pretty good. Sounds more like put together than most TV dinners. Alright, so my favorite meals, like all the best songs, have more than one note. It's why I love my country fried steak with fluffy, buttery mashed potatoes and seasoned with green beans with a smoky bacon. Topped with a creamy gravy that's made from scratch. It's melody of tastes and textures in every bite. I can't stop singing along, Dolly. Now, I know this would taste better if I cooked it in the oven. However, it takes almost an hour to cook this in the oven, and most people that buy these kind of things, they just want an easy, quick meal. So we are going to microwave it. So serving per container is one meal, 500 calories per meal. Total fat is 30 grams, saturated fat is 11 grams, trans fat is 1 gram, 65 milligrams of cholesterol, 1,200 milligrams of sodium, 41 grams of carbs, 4 grams of fiber, 4 grams of sugar, and 17 grams of protein. There's also a QR code that says tasty tips, easy recipes, and all things delicious, Dolly live right here, scan now. So I'm guessing it takes you to like a website and she has recipes and stuff. We're not going to look at that. So yeah. Microwave, cook on high for 4 minutes. No need to vent. Rotate steak and stir potatoes, recover, cook an additional 2.5–3.5 minutes, and it'll be good. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. This is what you get. Pretty decent sized. I would open this and show you, but it does say do not vent. So it looks like we have our I think this is the mashed potatoes and the gravy, but I don't know. Maybe it's just mashed potatoes only. It looks like there's a little bit of gravy on top of here. And then you see our country fried steak, and then our green beans and bacon is underneath the country fried steak. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and cook this up, and I'll be back. Alright, so this is what it's looking like. We need to rotate our country fried steak. Honestly, I will say the smells coming from this, honestly, smells pretty good. There isn't a whole lot of gravy, though, as you can tell, which kind of sucks. But this actually does smell pretty good. And then we need to stir our mashed potatoes, which honestly, the potatoes, they look kind of gross, but, well, they're frozen still, so that's kind of hard to steer. But I will say, it does look seasoned. Like, you can see the black pepper. So that's a plus. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and put this back in the microwave. Alright, so this is what Dolly Parton's meal is looking like, all cooked up. So obviously, if you do want your country fried steak more crispy and not so like soft and mushy, cook it in the oven. It should crisp up a little bit more. But I did not want to wait. So we have our green beans. Looks like there's a piece of bacon right there. There is gravy all around down in your green beans, so there is a little bit more gravy. There's not a whole lot though. And then we have our mashed potatoes, which look fine. They look like instant potatoes, nothing special. But let's see if this has any flavor and is worth the pricey price tag. So I used to grow up eating like banquet meals and stuff, like really cheap TV dinners. You know, they never were that great, but they got you by. Now, this should be better than a banquet dinner, being that the price is a lot higher. And there's even higher ones. When I was at Walmart, I saw that Gordon Ramsay, he had some, and his were a little bit pricier than these were. I think they were like $7. This is like 5 or 6, I think. But that's still pretty pricey for a TV dinner because most TV dinners are around $3. I know some are a little more than that, but most are around $3. Like that's the average price. There was also a few other chefs I didn't really know of that had some, and they were even more expensive. So I might have to try some of them in the future. But for now, we just have $2 Parton ones. We're going to start with this country fried steak. Alright, now that this has cooled down a tiny bit, probably not much, probably still really hot. I'm going to stir these potatoes up a little bit. And then I think I'm just going to start with the green bean, because I feel like the green beans shouldn't be too hot. We'll grab a few green beans. It's not bad. But so this might not be a downside to a lot of people, but I think it's a downside to me. They're kind of like fresh green beans, and I mean, yeah, typically you would like fresh green beans. I'm not saying these are fresh, but they have that bite to them. So honestly, when it comes to green beans, I tend to like the canned green beans the most because they don't have like that bite. I don't know. I don't care for it. But honestly, they're not bad. I think with a little bit of salt, and yes, I know there's a lot of sodium in this, but I think a little bit of salt, a little bit more pepper, and honestly, they'd probably be decent. There's some gravy on this one. I think there's a tiny bit of bacon on this. Here's a piece of bacon. Yeah, honestly, not bad. I think the green beans, honestly, they'd get like a 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10. They are not the worst vegetable I've had in a TV dinner, that's for sure. Definitely one of the better ones, like flavor-wise. Let's go ahead and move on to the mashed potatoes. You don't taste that bad, actually. I can taste the pepper. There is quite a bit of black pepper on this. I don't know if there's any garlic or anything. I don't really taste any garlic. I wish there's a little bit of gravy, a little extra gravy, so I could put it on my potatoes. I think that'd be really good. Potatoes, you know what? I'm gonna give them a solid 5 out of 10 too. Now let's try this country fried steak. Now, like I said, it is pretty like chewy and soft and whatever. I can't even like cut into it. But like I said, that's the microwave's fault. You put it in the oven, it would be more crispy. So I'm not gonna really give that the downfall. But most people do cook these in the microwave. So that's what it looks like. You can see the breading and then the steak in the inside. The breading I'm worried about because I think the breading's gonna be very, very soggy, but we'll see. I feel like the country fried steak could be better. It doesn't taste that seasoned, and honestly, there's like no gravy. That is the biggest downfall. Is there's like no gravy on this. Because I think if it had the gravy, it'd have a little bit more flavor to it, you know? I don't mind the sogginess of the breading, to be honest. Like, it doesn't bother me too much. Would it be better crispy? Yes. But it's not bad if you just want a quick, easy meal. You know what? I think I'm gonna be fair. And I'm gonna give this as a whole like a 6 out of 10. And I feel like that is pretty high for a TV dinner. I actually want to rank a bunch of TV dinners, like cheap ones and all that. Even if I've had them before, just kind of like review them and rank them, or maybe get like a bunch of them and review do a big video, you know. I know it's been done before on YouTube, but yeah, I think altogether, the Dolly Parton country fried steak meal, microwave meal, it gets a 6 out of 10. It's, like I said, it's decent. I think the green beans and mashed potatoes are really good. The mashed potatoes could use a little gravy, like I said, but not too bad. Let's try some mashed potatoes with some of this country fried steak. Well, maybe. Very hard to cut. I mean, I could bring a knife out, but I don't feel like doing that. Okay. We have some green beans, some country fried steak, and a little bit of mashed potatoes. Oh, yeah. Honestly, that could bump it up. That was definitely the way to eat this. Is throw your mashed potatoes onto your steak, get some green beans, and get all the flavor you can. Alright, guys. I'm going to go ahead and finish this meal. See you guys later. Subscribe, share, like, and comment. Have you guys tried this before? Have you tried any of the Dolly Parton meals? Or pies? I know she has pies too. So that's something else I'd like to review in the future. Alright, guys. See you later. Subscribe, like, comment, and share.